What's going on, everybody? I'm Can't Kill Dill, lover of all things morbid, macabre, and horrific. If you are too, maybe consider sharing some sweet, sweet suffering with the like button.
Groovy.
David Bruckner's HELLRAISER breaks away from the traditional story from the original movie and the Hellbound Heart novella, delivering us a whole new story with brand new characters, and you know what? He totally fucking pulled it off. So we follow Riley, a recovering drug addict, struggling alcoholic, as she comes into possession of the lament configuration, or the puzzle box, if you will, after a robbery that she does with her boyfriend. Obviously, once in possession of the configuration, the puzzle box, wacky shit starts happening as she plays around with it, as you would expect. I have to say that the main character, Riley, played by Odessa Azion, was really well done. I really enjoyed this character. This whole thing just kind of felt like it was saturated in Clive Barkerisms. These main characters are broken, especially Riley. She's a very, very broken character. And I'm kind of hearing a lot that this character didn't go over well with a lot of people. Maybe it's just me, but I've known a lot of people like Riley in my life. I've grown up around these kinds of people. So the character felt very real to me, which is a huge plus. To me, that brought a dimension of realism that maybe a lot of other people may not understand because maybe they've just never known somebody like that. So there's this whole other layer of realism with this character, Riley, even her friends and her shitty boyfriend. I feel like this movie did a great job of really delivering HELLRAISER to a new generation. And there's some things that I want to talk about. The locations were fantastic. It looked so good. It felt like something leaped right off the pages of a Clive Barker novel. It felt like HELLRAISER. The music was great. Again, I feel like I keep hearing that people were kind of frustrated with the human characters. Now, I understand going into a HELLRAISER movie, what you're most excited to see, obviously, are the Cenobites. Everybody wants to see the Cenobites. Everybody wants to see the new Cenobites. We want to know what they're doing. We want to see the design. But the human characters I really enjoyed. Again, maybe because I've known people like this and I've seen relationships like this. But I just kind of... There's one thing I have to mention. The character Colin, dude, her brother's boyfriend. I feel like everybody's lives in that movie would have been a lot easier, maybe, if they just listened to Colin. Like, for instance, the night when Riley gets kicked out of the apartment, she comes home, she's kind of stumbling around, she drank a little bit, and Colin's like, dude, don't go, fucking stay here with me. And Matt's like, no, fuck that. He goes out there, starts a huge fucking fight, it's dumb. He kicks her out, says, pack your shit in the morning. Riley takes off anyways, right then and there. Colin's outside smoking or whatever, and he's like, dude, just stay. It's just a bad night. She's like, fuck that, and runs away. Again, just listen to the guy. You know, maybe you would have been better off. I don't know. Either way, we get to the point where she, you know, ends up breaking. She takes those fucking pills, which that was a character moment where I was like, when she dumped the pills out, meant to be that, like, winning moment, but then she goes and ends up picking him out of the fucking dirt and taking him anyways. I really enjoyed that. It really paints the picture of the struggle of substance abuse and addiction. Again, Clive Barker, broken characters. I really enjoyed the take on the puzzle box itself, how it has these different stages and different configurations, and, you know, each one is like a stage building up to the Leviathan configuration, how the little, you know, blades will come out and draw blood. That was all really, really cool. And honestly, I feel like the 2-hour runtime was kind of perfect. I paused it at some point about an hour in and couldn't even believe it. I was like, holy shit, it's already an hour in. It feels like we just started watching this thing. So for me, time just kind of flew by watching this movie. I enjoyed every moment. Right at the middle mark is when the Cenobites really start to fucking become dominant. And it was kind of fucking perfect. I really love how this kind of expanded upon the mythos and the lore. It really was just dripping with lore, and it was so... I feel like it was handled with care. I feel like everybody on this project really, really gave a shit. David Bruckner has done something that I didn't think would be able to be done, and he's made a film that may stand up to the original. Some things you could kind of see coming, for instance, the betrayal of Trevor. It still played off well. It was enjoyable. That whole climactic finale in the house, in the manor, in the mansion or whatever. That was all done really, really well. I love the cage around the house that is shifting and moving. It felt very much like the puzzle box itself. It also kind of felt a little 13 ghosty, and not in a bad way at all. It worked. And just seeing the imagery of these Cenobites, specifically the Hell Priest, standing out there fucking waiting for when she can come in. It was just chilling. Speaking of the Cenobites, they are, without a doubt, as anybody would have assumed, the highlight of this movie. As much as I actually did enjoy the human cast of characters, the Cenobites were something really, really special. What they delivered was something just so well done. I kind of originally thought like, oh, you know, you're never really going to be able to do the Cenobites as good as the original. But I feel like they may have. This whole idea of kind of abandoning the black leather, you know, gimp suits and shit, turning their own flesh into their clothing itself was just kind of like a stroke of genius. Like, yeah, do that. That's exactly what should have been done, and I'm so glad that that's what they did. That was the exact move to make. That was the perfect move to make. Instead of it having that black and whitish kind of color scheme of the original Cenobites, the original Hell Priest and all that, more of this you know, white, palish skin, some not even white, you know, just like flesh tones and red. Fucking, it worked. It worked so well. Seeing certain angles of Jamie Clayton as the Hell Priest, there's like drapes hanging from her arms, but it's fucking peeled back flesh that just hangs like drapes of a sleeve, and it's just insane. Whereas, you know, the original Cenobites had clothing that was revealing with body modifications. Obviously, there were still big body modifications, but their clothing was like revealing and kind of risque. Instead, it's like their flesh is revealing their insides, and that's the parts that's revealed. And that, very well done. Jamie Clayton as the Hell Priest, Pinhead, whatever you want to call her. Wow. She did it. I don't think they could have ever done it with someone trying to be Doug Bradley. I don't think that ever would have worked. What they did totally worked. They pulled it off. I can't wait to watch it again. It was that good. I can't wait to see a sequel. I want more. The one complaint really that I have that I feel kind of bugs me enough that I want to bring it up, anything else is trivial, I don't really care, is that wow, for a Hellraiser movie, this was not very gory. Maybe it has something to do with watching the original at such a young age, but when I think of Hellraiser, I think of gooey, morbid, fucking grotesque stuff. Whereas the designs and stuff, yes, they were grotesque. The things that happened to people were pretty grotesque and extravagant and brutal. It never felt like it reached the gore factor that I was expecting. And maybe I just had too high of expectations. I don't know if other people felt that way. It wasn't nearly as gory as I thought it would be. They really, really could have pushed the boundary there, and I feel like they didn't even come close. So that is kind of a strike against it. I don't know what that was about. I was expecting something much more with the gore factor. But what they delivered was striking. Designs were beautiful. It was insane that something could be so morbid and horrific, but like so striking and beautiful at the same time. This whole film, what can be described like that? It's morbid and grotesque, but striking and beautiful the whole way through this. There's something sexual that just resonates through the whole film, and that's very Hellraiser. That's perfect. That's awesome. It nailed the vibe of this thing. So good on them. All the Cenobites were fantastic. It was great to see some familiar faces like the Chatterer, which, damn, R.I.P. dude. What the fuck? Jamie Clayton, holy fucking shit. The way she held herself as the Hell Priest was just exquisite, dude. It was fucking rad. It was scary. It was like demanding, sexy, fucking definitely left me questioning things about myself. Just well done. Holy shit, I can't wait to see more. But I hope when they do a sequel, they fucking up the gore factor. I mean, push the fucking envelope. Because with Hellraiser, you need to push the envelope, and I don't feel like they did that here. But luckily, I think that we're 100% going to get a sequel. Fingers crossed for a trilogy. So, did David Bruckner do it? Did he deliver a Hellraiser movie that stands up to the original? Is it better than the original? For me, no, it's not. But it's damn close. In my opinion, it is the second best out of the whole franchise. I prefer the original, but this movie has been just a a joy to watch, a joy to anticipate, and it delivered for me. And you know, kind of an afterthought, but it's kind of funny that it's not a sequel, it's not a remake, it's, you know, it's not a reboot. Jamie Clayton, I believe, said it was something like, you know, it's a film that exists in the same universe as the prior movies. And I feel like people sometimes take that too literally. I usually don't when actors say stuff like that. I'm just like, shut up, it's a reboot, whatever. It got me thinking, and this is just a random theory. What if Jamie Clayton's Hell Priest is actually Kirsty Cotton from HELLRAISER 1 and 2? I mean, in the comics, Kirsty became the new Hell Priest with the pins in her head and shit. Like, what if this actually is canon to the first two Hellraiser movies? So they're pulling like a Halloween 2018 and doing a sequel to the original, maybe the original too. In between then and now, at some point, like in the comic book run, Kirsty becomes the new Hell Priest. And so this film literally would be a direct sequel to the original. And maybe they won't reveal that until one of its sequels. Like, how nuts would that be? I don't know if that's really what's going to happen. Probably not, but they could do that. And I would be a fan. I almost feel like maybe that might upset some people who are really happy as with Jamie Clayton as the Hell Priest, which I am. I'm really happy with her as the Hell Priest. I think she was fucking amazing. But I feel like maybe that might take something away. People would be like, oh, she's not the real one, though. She's not the original. No, bullshit, she is. It feels like more of a mantle than it is an identity. I feel like the Cenobites individually are more of mantles than individuals. So it's like a title you take on. For instance, with Chatterer gone, maybe Voight is becoming the new Chatterer. At the end there, when he's staring up when he's in Leviathan and being, you know, transformed into a new Cenobite and his flesh is ripped away from his teeth. I mean, maybe he's going to be the new Chatterer. Maybe the Chatterer in this film is the one that replaced the Chatterer from the original film. Silly, I don't know. Just a thought. I had to tack that on here, though. I'm not going to make an entire video about that, but what if, dude? Anyways, tell me your thoughts down below. Did you really enjoy this? Do you think it sucked ass? Let me know, because let me know. Do you want to see sequels? I do. Go ahead and stab the like button, /subscribe, and got that bell notification. Later.